video we discussed about the flow of water in the plants. The flow of water in the plants will take place by two steps, that is absorption of water, that we have already learned in the previous video. And in this video, the water which is reached up to the xylem, how it goes up, that is called ascent of sap. So the movement of water in upward direction through xylem is called ascent of sap. Here in the ascent of sap, various factors responsible for movement of the water. What are those factors? The first one is root pressure. This root pressure, how much when the water is absorbed by the plants, how much water can be moves in an upward direction by this root pressure. To know about this root pressure, when the water moves or absorbed by the particle, and this water is enter into the root hairs, the water which is present in the soil is enter into the root hairs. From there, cortical cells, and from one to another, and next finally it reaches up to the xylem. If transpiration not takes place, that means stomata is closed. Transpiration is not takes place, that is the loss of water stops due to the closing of stomata. But if absorption of water continues, what happens? No transpiration. For clear understanding, here I will draw. This is the root and stem, then the leaf. Here, the inward movement of the water through root and up to the xylem will take place. That is, the absorption of water continues, and when it reaches to the xylem, this water moves in upward direction through xylem and it reaches up to the stomatal apparatus, where the transpiration takes place. Suppose if how much of water or the water molecules are enter into the xylem, and the water is transported in upward direction, whatever the water amount of the water is enter into the inside the plant, and same amount or some of more amount of the water comes out by means of transpiration, which takes place by stomatal aperture. Suppose if stomata closed, that means there is no transpiration. So here what happens is some of the, here I will write, there is no or low transpiration due to the closing of stomata. So these are some of the conditions for the root pressure. That means the stomata is closed, so there is no transpiration takes place, but the inward movement of the water is always continuous. These are some of the conditions for the root pressure. That means the continuous movement of water takes place, but there is no transpiration, which results some pressure in the xylem tissue due to the accumulation of water molecules in the xylem. This is the xylem. So due to the absence of the transpiration, but the absorption of the water molecules are continuous, and these molecules are accumulated in the xylem tissue, that causes the pressure in the xylem. This pressure is called as root pressure. This pressure is called as root pressure. This called as root pressure. And then what happens? Then Then what happens here? Suppose the root pressure takes place due to the not due to the absence of the transpiration. This root pressure is more than enough to pull out the water. But this root pressure is only applicable to those plants which are having a very short distance, short length from the above the ground level, like herbs. For this, just I'll draw a diagram here. For clear understanding, here we're taking a watered plant, and here we cut the stem area. That means up to the some level from the ground. So that means here there is no leaves and some other branches, etc. So there is no leaves means there is no means of transpiration here. So then what happens? Even though here the continuous water movement is taking place. So when the continuous water movement is taking place here, what happens? The water column is so some water column. So here water column is built up in the xylem due to the root pressure. So here there is no transportation because we already cutted the plant, we already removed the leaves, so there is no question of the transpiration. So even though because of absorption of water continuously or continuous moving inward movement of the water through the xylem, here what happens? Some water column build up in the region. That results when we see some water droplets comes out from the stem part where we cutted. The water droplets comes out from the stem where we cut, and this what we call it as oozing out of the water from the cell. For clear understanding, here I write guttation. That means the movement of water in the form of liquid is the movement of water in the form of liquid is called guttation. So here this is only applicable only those plants which are very short lying from the ground level. That means it is only aware of this pressure is only useful for those plants like herbs. If the plants are like 25 centimeters, 20 meters and 25 meters, this root pressure not useful. Then in those plants, how the movement of water in upward direction will takes place. So that is another step on. That is transpiration pull. The second one is transpiration pull. In the transpiration pull, okay students, sorry, just I forgot to say one more thing here. When we talk about the guttation, just before going to transpiration pull, just I want to mention another point is guttation. In the guttation process, the movement of water in the form of liquid through structures called hydatodes. This is actually the point. Hydatodes. What are these hydatodes? If we draw a diagram the root and then stems and the leaf part. In just I told you that if the stomata are closed, there is no process, there is no question of the transpiration. But even though in that condition, but the inward movement of the water will take place. Then the water which is formed as a water column in the particular region, that water comes out. That process, what we call it here as here it is guttation by means of a structures, that is hydrathodes. Hydrathodes are nothing but a small pores which are present on the leaf margin. These are not the stomatal aperture. Hydrathodes are the apertures, are the small pores which are present on the leaf margin. If suppose in plants the stomata closed, because why the stomata closed? In the night time the movement of the water will continues, but the stomata closes, so there is no transpiration process takes place. So when during the time of the morning, early hours, so the opening of the stomata, it will take sometimes later. So by that time the water comes out through by means of guttation through a small pores which are present on the leaf margin. And the next important factor in the ascent of sap is transpiration pull. And this transpiration pull is more than enough to pump the maximum amount of water up to the level of the plant, like even in tall trees. So transpiration pull works on some principles. These transpiration pull works on some principles. This means actually the transpiration pull means loss of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata. In the guttation, what we discussed, the loss of water in the form of liquid, that is guttation. Here the transpiration means the loss of water in the form of water vapor through stomata. There in the guttation, the water loss of water through hydrathodes. And then this transpiration pull is more than enough to pump the water even tall trees. And then many principles are involved in the transpiration pull. So before going to the principles, we'll go for the process. How it will take place. In the process, so here I have already mentioned the loss of water is through the stomata. So before going to the principles, how the process takes place, transpiration takes place in the plants. So if you see the structure of the stomata are having bean-shaped guard cells, bean-shaped or a kidney-shaped guard cells. And these, here we have to remember one thing is, the guard cells, the inner layer of the guard cells are thicker than the outer surface. This is one of the reasons where the formation of aperture will take place. So the inner wall of the guard cells are thicker than the outer layer, and these are guard cells, and these guard cells are surrounded by epidermal tissue, and this tissue is called as subsidiary cells. This is called as subsidiary cells. When these guard cells becomes turgid, then open will, here some aperture is forms. This aperture is called stoma. This aperture is called stoma. The entire structure is called as stomata. When we observe in the dicots, this is the stomata structures in the dicot leaf. So inside the God cells we find out some radially arranged thin fibrils. These are called, which are arranged radially, these are called cellulosic microfibrils. Cellulosic microfibrils, which plays a role when the God cells become turgid and these cellulosic microfibrils structured. That is the reason why the opening appears in the region of the God cells where the inner wall becomes thick, and this is called stroma, from where the transpiration takes place, and this is the structure of the dicot. Suppose if we take the monocots, here a small difference you have to remember is these the God cells are dumbbell in shape in case of monocot leaf. In case of monocot leaves, the inner and as well as outer layers are thick. Inner and outer layers are thick. But in case of dicots, only the inner layer thicks. Due to this thickening of inner layer, when the stomata, when the God cells are become turgid, then here in the thicker region, wherever the thicker region is present, there a curve is forms. So due to the formation of this curve, a aperture, the opening appears, and this opening is called stroma. And the fibrils, the cellulosic microfibrils which are present in the God cells, and this helps the opening of stroma. So when the stroma opens, the transpiration takes place through the stroma, and this is the structure of the stroma. And then now we'll go for principles involved in the transpiration. We'll go for the mechanism and opening and closing of stomata. And the opening of stomata takes place through endosmosis. How? When what God cells do. These God cells take the ions, sodium and potassium ions from subsidiary cells. So when the ions like sodium and potassium from the subsidiary cells move into the God cells, these God cells, the sap in the God cells becomes hypertonic. That means the concentration level in the God cells becomes high. So here it becomes hypertonic, and in the subsidiary cells it becomes hypotonic in condition. When the God cells are in hypertonic in condition, these inner tissue of the God cells become stretched. That means the cells become swell. That is the reason why here the inner walls of the God cells stretch, which results a wide opening appears here, through which the transpiration takes place. So here the movement of the mechanism, during the mechanism of the opening and closing of stomata, movement of ions and also the passive movement of water, the movement of ions and passive movement of water plays a role. So that is the reason the opening and closing of stomata takes place. So after the opening of stomata, the water comes out through transpiration. Then what happens again during the process of closing? Then these God cells send out these ions again into the outer side. That means into the subsidiary cells. That means it becomes now hypotonic in condition and the subsidiary cells become hyper in condition. When this happens, when the God cells sends the sodium and the potassium ions outside into the subsidiary cells, the guard cells becomes flaccid. That results, the cells here in the region becomes loosened, and that results the guard cells closes. And this is the mechanism of the opening and closing of stomata. It will take place through the movement of ions and passive movement of water. And then we will go for the next, transpiration pull. The principles which are involved in the transpiration pull. The first one is cohesive and adhesive forces. What is cohesive force? Here in the cohesive force, the attraction between same molecules, same kind of molecules. That means those two are identical. Here water and water. That means the attraction takes place between the same molecules. And adhesive means attraction between different molecules. Attraction between different, not identical, different molecules. The different molecules means here water and lignin. What is lignin? Lignin is the surface layer on xylem vessel. That means the surface layer of xylem is having lignin material, and the attraction between takes place. If attraction takes place between water and lignin, that is called adhesive force. If attraction takes place between water and water, that means in the same identical molecules, that is called cohesive force. For easy understanding, just I'll draw it here. Suppose this is a xylem. Sorry. This is the layer of xylem, and this is the lignin layer of xylem. And these are the water molecules. And these water molecules, how the whole water column takes place continuously by means of two forces, cohesive and the adhesive forces. So this is the lignin layer, and these are water molecules. When these water molecules is attracted by the lignin layer, what kind of force is applied here? Adhesive force. So when these water molecules are pulled by the lignin, here the adhesive force are taken place. Then when these water molecules are attracted by the lignin layer, and it is also pull the another water molecules along with, means here what happens? The cohesive force taken place. So by the cohesive and adhesive forces, the transpiration, the continuous water flow takes place in xylem, in the plants. So here this is the water molecule, and this is attracted, here it is attracted by the lignin layer. When this water molecule is pulled out by the lignin, and it is also pulled the another water molecules along with. That means two kinds of the forces are applied here. So which results the continuous flow of water in upward direction through xylem we observe. This is one principle. Then next, and the next second one is capillary force. What is capillary force? For example, if you take two straws, two different diameter, the straws which are having two different diameters, when we kept these two in the water, this is the water, when we kept these two capillary straws, one is having a very thin and other is having a very wide diameter. When we observe these two, when we kept, after we kept this in the water, the level of the water in the broad straw reaches up to certain level, and the level of the water in the thin straw rises up to somewhat higher than the wider one. So this is capillary force, what we call. That means here in xylem, the lumen of the xylem is very thin. The lumen of the xylem is very thin. That's why the water molecules which are moves towards upwards, they move continuously. So these two forces, that is, one is capillary force and another one is adhesive and cohesive force. How these two forces are help in the pull? How these two created the pull during the transpiration? Here, for easy understanding, just draw a diagram here. This is one branch, another, and this is the leaf. Then, during the process of the movement of the water through the xylem, by means of these two forces, the more water moves in upward direction and reach up to the stomatal aperture. Stomatal aperture. Then here I'll draw another one, and this is the internal structure of the leaf, which is having upper epidermis and where the stomata is absent in some cases to control the transpiration, to control the loss of water. Excess of amount of water should not move. And this is the lower epidermis, which have stomatal aperture. And then here we find out the parasite tissue, which is compactly arranged parasite parenchyma, and then loosely arranged spongy parenchyma. In the region or the region near where the stomata is present, there we find some space. This space we call as egg space or something, and this is upper epidermis, and it is covered by a cuticle, and in some plants the stomata are absent, and some plants very less stomata is present to control the transpiration. And here we find out the more number of the stomata in the lower epidermis, and this is the parasite tissue, and this is parenchymatous tissue. Here we find out the vascular tissue, where we find out the phloem and xylem. Then when water moves in upward direction, the water moves by the forces, that is capillary force and cohesive and adhesive force. The water comes up to the So this is the xylem. Xylem. Suppose this is the xylem aperture. This is the lumen of the xylem. Now, when the water comes up to here, the accumulation of water, the water comes out through the lumen of the xylem, and here the water molecules are accumulates. So in this area, the water molecules are comes out and accumulated here, and due to the some condition, because the low water vapor conditions in the outside, the water comes out through the stomata aperture. This what we call it as transpiration. That means when water vapor coming out from the stomata, this water vapor continuous evaporation, what should I say then, through xylem, which creates some suction or a pull. That what? Suppose if we take a straw, when we drink a water in the glass, what happens? We suck the water. Suppose this is a glass of water. When we keep any straw here, we suck to get the water into the mouth. Why? Because why we suck the water? Because to remove the air in this space. So here what happens? To remove the air here, the suction happens in the region of this. So due to the suction, the water moves from xylem, from root to the stem, and from root to the stem to the leaf. From there, the water comes out by means of transpiration. This suction is nothing but pull. So due to this suction, the transpiration is taking place through the stomata. That's why this we call it as a transpiration pull. So when we are talking about the root pressure, this transpiration pull plays a major role in the transpiration. That means root pressure is only useful for only the small plant like herbs. But in case of a plants which are having a more height like 20 centimeters, 25 and so on, this transpiration pull is useful. And this is about the scent of sap. And with this we completed this lesson, and I am going to give one assignment. Okay, today in the ascent of sap we discussed about some of the forces like some of the forces like cohesive and adhesive forces, in how they help in the transpiration of pull, and then the root pressure and the transpiration pull, and what kind of the plants need the root pressure. What? Okay, today in the ascent of sap we come across some topics like guttation and transpiration, and then the forces which are useful for the transpiration pull, and then how the root pressure takes place in the guttation. And these are the very some of the important topics you have to read even. So in the examination point of view, these are the questions. Write the differences between guttation and transpiration. Please you note down and write the mechanism of opening and closing of stomata and ascent of sap. These are all very important in the examination of point of view. And thank you, and again we'll meet in the next lesson. Thank you.